So the function is 1 plus secant of x. On the interval from 0 to 1, x equals 0 just means the y-axis. And then we're going to rotate that about the x-axis. So first of all, graph 1 plus secant of x. 1 plus, and then for secant, I can use 1 divided by cosine. The window is going from 0 to 1. And then for the y values, because it says plus 1, maybe I should have it go up to like 5. Let's see if we can see the graph. Oh yeah. I thought that it was going to be a much bigger graph. That's fine. So it looks about like this. And then we're rotating this about the x-axis. So we're going to be using the formula that you integrate pi, the radius squared, and then dx. So whoops, dropped my pen. So the radius goes from the axis of rotation over to the object. So this is going to be the radius, which is actually going to be just that function right there. And this x equals 0 means the y-axis, which means it's being cut off right here, which doesn't make a big difference because it says to go from 0 to 1 anyway. Okay, so the volume is going to be integrate pi, and then the radius gets squared. And we're integrating from 0 to 1. And then we should do some algebra, multiply this out. I'm also going to factor out the pi. So when you square 1, it's a 1. When you square a binomial, the middle term will be multiply these two and then double that. And then square the secant. So then find the antiderivatives. So for 1, that's just going to be x. And then for secant. So that's going to be the natural log of secant plus tangent. So the way that I remember that one is the derivative of secant is secant times tangent. So the integral of secant also has a secant and a tangent, but they're added together, and then there's also the natural log. I also remember the derivative of tangent is secant squared, so the antiderivative for secant squared is tangent. And then that gets evaluated from 0 to 1. So there's still the pi, and then there's going to be 1 plus 2 times the natural log secant of 1 plus tangent of 1 plus another tangent of 1, and then minus when you substitute a 0. Got just enough space. Now with these, I don't really see any way that I could simplify. That's going to be simplified. Secant of 0, well, cosine of 0 is 1. So secant of 0 is 1 over that, so it's 1. And then tangent of 0 is 0. So that means that this part right here is going to become natural log of 1. And tangent of 0 is 0. Natural log of 1 is 0, which means this part is 0, that's 0, and that's 0. So actually all of this does not contribute to the answer. We only need this part. And then that's going to be a pi on the outside, and then parentheses 1 plus 2 times the natural log secant. I have to use 1 divided by cosine of 1 plus tangent of 1, and then close the natural log function with the parenthesis, and then plus tangent of 1. And so it equals a 15.739.